Welcome everybody. This is the RISE slate for the upcoming Wake GOP election. We've got a few questions that have been sent to us recently. We want to address those questions now. I'd like to introduce first Lana Witt, who's running for chair. Lana, thanks for being here today. Eleanor and Joe are also running as well. Eleanor is running for first vice chair. Joe is running for third vice chair. And I'm running for assistant treasurer. However, today I'm playing moderator to questions. Let's start off with an easy question that's been sent to us recently. Lana, I understand that there's been allegations about some type of impropriety that may be going on at the Wake GOP elections. There was an email sent out recently. Is there any kind of information that you can expound on those allegations, please?
So what we know is that Wake GOP, according to Rule 11 in the proposed rules for convention, is looking at using software specifically for that leadership election. That software has a connection to a candidate, a family member. The product specifically, it appears, has already been purchased by the county party to potentially be used. But again, according to Rule 11, we can use digital voting, or we could use paper ballots, as well as I believe there are two other options listed in Rule 11 of the proposed rules.
Okay, and there was the controversy that I understand that had come up had to do with something about an email. It was no way tied directly to the RISE team, was it?
Right. So again, I believe that, at the time that was a candidate that was with the RISE team, and that email was sent out as an individual under his, anybody who knows me, I'm a big proponent of individual liberty, and I'll support everybody's individual decisions. And he respectfully, out of potential impact to us, chose to resign from our team. And we support his freedom to operate individually however he sees best with the information that he has. But yeah, good candidate. We really respect and appreciate his focus is really on election integrity. Because of 2020's elections, as well as in our volunteer base here in Wake County and across the state, there's been a huge push for poll observers inside on early voting as well as on election day. There's been huge concern about the machines that are used. And so with that heightened awareness comes responsibility.
So Republicans over the last couple of years, 3 years in particular, have been a little jaded as far as machines being involved in elections, integrity, is the vote count legit? So for people in the party to ask these questions, that should be welcomed by the Republican Party, not being decried by the current leadership.
The more confidence that our volunteers have that it's not happening inside our own county party leadership elections, the more they're going to be propelled to want to give more of their time. And so I just really encourage all of us to keep our focus. The eye on the goal is integrity in our election process. And this software hasn't been tested, just like any software that we would use, right? Once it's been tested, I believe that confidence could arise. One beautiful example for how to handle it would be, let's make sure we have a paper option, and let's check the count according to how the software counts came out. And it's trust but verify, right?
Ronald Reagan said it best, trust but verify. That's right. Joe, you've recently risen up from an at-large member, and now you're running for third vice chair, correct?
That is right. We believe, and really like all the regional chairs and also the precinct chairs, that we want to give them some support. We want to empower them to be successful in finding volunteers very, very quickly. And this will be a snowball approach, and we've started already that last week, and we're going to continue again after the convention. And so we're really excited to be out there and providing support to our regional chairs and all the precinct chairs that are under them.
Can I toss out a quick question? Why are you so passionate about that, Joe?
Because I've been in that role for many, many years, and we really need a lot of support. How can we help each other share and find volunteers using the resources that we currently have.
Joe, do you feel like over the last few elections in Wake County that there have been missed opportunities based on what you've witnessed as a chair?
Yes, there's been many missed opportunities right now, and we really need to build our base up and build our organization up to be strong precincts and strong regions to be effective in future elections.
Eleanor, I want to turn it over to you for a second. You're new on the RISE team.
Yes.
I don't know how many people really know you or know your background. Is there anything that you want to share with the audience about yourself?
Well, sure. I have been a precinct chair for about 2 years, and being in the trenches, I've had the opportunity to observe Lana Witt and to basically see how hard she works. I've developed an admiration because she is driven and she has a lot of talent that she brings to her role. And, you know, she can bring a new direction that can re-energize the GOP. You know, to be a great leader, you have to be able to inspire people. You have to walk the talk. You have to do what you say you're going to do. You
Lead
can't
by
just
example.
lead by example. Exactly. And, you know, I've had experience as a ground up experiencer, so to speak, in my professional life and with the GOP. My first job out of college, I was hired at an entry-level position, and roughly a decade and a half later, I retired as a senior executive in a Fortune 500 company. So I have started at the ground and gone up. What I'm hoping, I've also worked with nonprofit organizations, served on nonprofit boards. I understand management challenges, and so I have decided that I want to step up and join the RISE team so that we can bring a fresh, transparent approach to leadership.
Transparency is important to the GOP, don't you think?
It's not a preference, it's a requirement.
So one thing I love about Eleanor is, as a precinct chair, when I shared at our region meeting that all of our precinct chairs were ex officio members of the executive committee, in a heartbeat, she started attending those executive committee meetings a couple years ago, just to better understand with transparency what was going on. And slowly but surely, of course, she was out in her neighborhood within probably a month of her becoming a precinct chair. We grabbed spreadsheets because we didn't have access to walk books at the time. And we just went out in our neighborhoods because she's my neighboring precinct. And
You didn't have access to walk books?
yes,
Is that a missed opportunity of what Joe was talking about?
That goes back to
I
what
would have
Joe-
done it for her if I could.
That's right. And so, but again, the beauty of the Board of Elections website, we can get access to fellow Republicans
Right.
without it costing us any money. So again, that goes back to transparency for where do those donor dollars go? And I know you're really passionate about that as well.
A question was asked of me recently, why am I no longer running for second vice chair and why am I running for assistant treasurer? And the truth is that I am a finance person by trade. Owned a restaurant in my prior life. I've also had multiple rental properties here in the area. Still a DJ, still have my DJ business. So one thing that I've always done is I've been able to keep my books well managed. And Gerard and I had a conversation not too long ago, and he said he really needs to know that somebody's there to help him look at the books, look at the numbers. And since I am a numbers guy, I said, I'm totally willing to be your support staff. So that's why I decided to go at assistant treasurer as well.
And we've specifically been looking at, in the plan of organization, Article 6 on finances and auditing. And as we look at the responsibility that we'll have as new leadership, one of those roles will be to do an annual audit, an in-depth annual audit. So I'm glad that Gerard is going to have your support too.
I got his back. I got his 6. That's going to do it for right now. Thank you for tuning in to our podcast today. If you want to see any more information about the RISE slate, look at riserepublican.com. Thank you all for being here today. Thanks for taking the time to answer everybody's question, and I'll see you guys again soon.
And watch for the next video. We'll be coming out with another one soon.
Thank you all.